we are returning the value because we started here. We start by displaying the execution start here, not to the function. It does not start here, okay, to the function definition. No, it starts here, okay. Now, we start by displaying the message the cube of 3 is, then we reach the function call here. We don't understand the task of this function call. We go to fetch to find the task, okay? So we find that it is calculating the cube of the number, and then we bring back the answer here. We return the answer here. That is the meaning of returning a value. So let us do it ourselves. Function. Let us open PHP. Let us save function to fn2.php. Function function maybe volume. Volume of we should have side. Now return volume equal side times side times side times side equal side. Return.
Sorry.
Yes.
Variable volume there on function. Not writing create is not the same.
It is not the same with this one. It is not the same with what?
The function.
So let us learn it first, and then you ask your question after. Volume maybe. What is our side? It is 5 echo. The volume is then so the volume is 125. So I understood your question. You mean that this name of a function should be the same of here? No, this is a name of a variable which contains the volume. Okay, if it is a volume of a cube, okay, we are calculating the volume of a cube. To calculate the volume of a cube, we need a size. Okay, we need a length of one side. Then we have to take the side times side times side. So whatever value you can, whatever variable name you can put here, it will work. The necessary is to return the value. Then this value calculated will come here, okay? Because we start by displaying the volume is, then here we reach the function call. So if we reach the function call, we don't know the task of it automatically. To know the task of this function, we need to go to the function definition, okay? So we realize that it is calculating the volume, okay, of this side by taking this side times side times side. Then we get the volume and we return the answer here, okay? So it is not necessary that the variable name be the same with the function name, no. But here, the function name over here of function definition should be the same with the one of the function call. Are we together?
Yes, we are together. Is that Nella I would like to ask you there? Because I see that you yes, okay. It's enough.
Thank you. So now we can go to arrays. If no one has a question about functions, we can start arrays. So an array is a collection of elements of the same type. Okay, you know that a variable can store only one value, but you can have an array which can store many values of the same type. Okay, why do we need arrays? You know that, for example, in a school, we need to manage data of students. Okay, let us take an example. We are having 1,000 students, and we need to manage their names, age, district, and so on. For example, ages of students. So if we need to record ages of 1,000 students, can we define 100 variables or 1,000 variables? Okay, in a traditional approach where we don't use arrays, so if we need to record ages of 1,000 students, we need to define 1,000 variables, each variable for a student, each variable for a student, each variable for a student. So you understand that approach, this old approach is tiresome, it is time consuming, and it is prone to errors. As you are writing the same thing many times, you can write it wrong. You can make typing mistakes. Okay, but we are having array. Array, it is like a single variable which can store many values of the same type. Okay, a single variable which can store many values of the same type is an array. Okay, so we can have array of integers, we can have array of strings, we can have array of floating numbers. It is used to hold the multiple values of similar type in a single variable. So that name of variable which can hold many values of the same type, we call it an array. So we have advantages of array. So advantages of array, less code, okay? As the program becomes small, it is easy to understand it, okay? Instead of defining 1,000 variables, you can define one variable which can contain all those values, okay? You understand that it brings a program, it goes our program to be small, okay? Less code. We write less code, but to produce the same output. So easy to traverse. If you need to traverse the array, it is easy. We can use for each, and then we can go through our array as we need. We can pick an element we need. We can bring all elements. We can bring some elements. For example, if we need only even numbers from our array, it is easy to go through our array by using for each. So we have three types of arrays in PHP. We have indexed array, we have associative array, and we have multidimensional array. Now, indexed array, what is it? An element is identified by an index, okay? It is a normal array where elements are, even if you understand that in array, we are having many elements which share the same name, a name of array, okay? All elements are sharing the same name. Now, how can we isolate one element? How can we distinguish those elements if they are sharing the same name? So elements are distinguished by their element index. Each element is having an index. And you know that by default, the first element is having index 0, and the last element is having index size -1. Size means what? It is a number of elements in our array. If we are having 10 elements, for example, the first element will have index 0, and the last element will have index 9. Okay, 10 elements in the array, it means the size is 10. Okay, the last element will have index 9. So if now we can distinguish our elements by our element index. We have also associative arrays. Associative arrays, they are those arrays containing key value pairs. The elements are composed by element and its value, element, value, element, value. For example, Sam is having age 20. Tom is having element age 25. Okay, and so on. So they are associative array. Each element is a combination of an element and its value, a key value pairs. So it is a collection of key value pairs for associative arrays. So multidimensional array, indexed array and the associative array, they are single dimensional array. Okay, a single dimensional array, it is like a line of element, a single line of element. You are seeing this line of tables. Okay, it is like a single dimensional array. So indexed array is a single dimensional array. But we can also have a two-dimensional array where elements are identified by indexes. But by default, indexed array is a single-dimensional array where elements are identified by element indexes. But multidimensional array, it is like a collection of arrays of single dimension. Okay, it is like a collection of arrays of single dimension. For example, at school, you can make lines of students. A single line of students is an array of one dimension. Okay, a single line. So if you make 4 lines, now all lines are making an array of two dimensions. Okay, so an array of two dimensions, it is like a collection of arrays of single dimension. Okay, so we are starting from indexed array. PHP indexed array index is represented by number which starts from 0. We can store numbers, string, and object in PHP array. All PHP array elements are assigned to an index number by default. So this is how we define array. We can define our array by using array keyword season equals array. Or we can specify the name of array and then specify an index. Element 1 equals summer, element 2, element 3, element 4. Element 4 is having index 3. Element 3 is having index 2. Element 2 is having index 1, and element 1 is having index 0. The first element index 0, the second element index 1, and so on. So now let us see. Yes, good morning. So let us see how to do it practically. Save as array1.php. Now the popular way to define, for example, number equals array good. Now echo, and we can see the values. We can display the values in our array by using print array number. So let us save and see the output. Array1.php. So we can see the values of our arrays. Element 0 is 5, element 1 is 6, element 2 is 9, element 3 is 8, 4. We have 7 elements. The first element is having index 0, as you can see it on your screens, and the element 7 is having index 6. And we are seeing each element and its index. So if we need to display the here we are displaying the entire array. Now, if we need to display elements, can use for each. For each, we can say number as key values, no problem. As values, echo value break. Now we can save. Now we can see values. And see values are being displayed. Okay, so by default, this is how we define our array, and this is how we display elements from the array. This is, here we have an example. Array1.php is having these values. Then we can display each element by specifying its index, or we can display all elements by going through the array by using for each. Now, associative array. Associative, we can associate names with each array element in a PHP using the arrow symbol. It is an equal with a recurrent operator. Now, there are two ways to define an associative array. The first way is this one. The second way is the. So now we can define our array. Like Sono is having this, John this, Kartik this, and then we can display Sono's salary is this, John's salary is this, and so on. So it is easy array to save as array to PHP. Now salary equals array you can see some Tom Sandra. Good. Now we can display this. So the salary of Sam is 1,000, and we can continue like this. Then break, let us break. copy, paste, then paste. We are only displaying the salary of Sam. We can also salary of Tom. Tom is salary, Tom. The salary of Sandra. Sandra is Sandra. Then if we run, okay, we can get Tom. So you can see the output. Each one salary can be displayed by using this this method. But normally we don't use this method normally. We use a for each, and for each can display the entire the all salaries of our employees by using a single loop. Because this method, if we use this method for 1,000 employees, it will be not easy. And as you know, programming to make a task less tiresome. Now, let us use for it and see. Let us comment. We can use say for each echo this key is value. Let us see if the output comes. Define the variable for each salary. So you can see the salary of Sam is the salary of Tom. This is the better way, to go through our arrays and get our elements from our array. We need to use for each. So even if we are having 1,000 elements, this single line, okay, can display all salaries of 1,000 employees. Okay, so it is better to use this method. So it is the one which is standard to go through arrays. So the associative array example is this one. You can make this is an example. Okay, let me give you some exercise. exercises. Write a PHP program to define page of 10 elements and then find and display only even elements from the array. So second exercise. So you have to write this exercise. Write a PHP program to define an array of 10 elements. Num of array num of 10 elements, and then find and display only odd as the display odd elements here. From the array. Three, write a PHP program to define an array of 10 elements, and then find and display only elements divisible by 5. Question number 4. Write a program to find an array of 10 elements and then find and display only prime numbers from the array. Number 6. Write a PHP program to define an array of 10 elements and then find and display only find and display only elements positive elements. Good.